AITA for still not letting my sister into my house after she made me miss daughter's birth? Frankly, I don't know if I'm being an asshole. Family seems to think I am, so just want to know what others here think. My sister, 25F, was going to meet her dad. Not my dad, by the way. For the first time in almost 18/19 of a year, and she was really nervous. She asked me to go with her for support. He was staying at some hotel about 30 minutes away, and the whole ride over there, my sister had my phone to give me directions. My wife was calling me because she'd gone into labor. Then my mill was calling me too. My sister put my phone on Do Not Disturb without me knowing and erased the notifications. I didn't even realize it until after we were leaving from having lunch with him an hour and a half later that she'd been calling me. All my sister told me was I had a missed call. More like dozens. When I found out, I was yelling at her the whole ride to the hospital. She apologized many times. Her only excuse was this was a big emotional moment for her meeting her dad, and she was scared. Doing it alone, knowing how her anxiety is. This was the only time they'd have to see each, since he was leaving in a few days and wouldn't be back for months. I really couldn't believe it. By the time we got there, my daughter had already been born a half hour. Don't get me wrong, I was so happy to know my daughter and wife were okay, but I was also devastated to have missed the birth of my first child. Couldn't look at my sister. All I told her was to get an Uber to take her home because I didn't want her near me right now. My daughter is almost 4 weeks old, and almost everyone vaccinated has come to see her. Last weekend my parents came over with my sister in the car, but I said I don't want her in my home right now. They got mad and left early. I keep hearing it from my family that I'm being completely unfair, treating my sister like an outcast by not letting her in my home. But I'm just still angry at her right now and don't think I have it in me to be in her presence. AITA? NTA. You know what else is a big emotional moment? The birth of your child. She didn't have the right to prioritize meeting her dad over you being present for a huge moment in your life. You can choose how you respond to that. They don't get to manage how you feel. NTA. She didn't just make you miss the birth of your baby. She is personally responsible for your wife being denied the comfort of having her partner by her side during labor and delivery. Birth is still potentially deadly for both mothers and babies. And your sister risked your wife's and daughter's health and lives by interfering in your ability to be contacted. The fact that your family is sticking up for her makes me think she's got some sort of spoiled princess complex and will likely never apologize. And if she doesn't, your relationship with her is probably not salvageable. NTA. She knew exactly what she was doing. She made you miss something once in a lifetime. And I can't imagine how important that must have been for you. And the fact she did it to go see her deadbeat father. That's tragic and ironic. And your parents can't even see it your way a little. It seems you have every right to be furious. NTA. That's fucking disgusting behavior from your sister. I'm so sorry you missed such a magical moment. I'm so sorry for your wife who missed out on your support and sharing that moment with you. NTA. Your sister decided that leaving a woman give birth while stressing out about where the father is was less important than her own stress and tampered with your phone. A birth is a once-in-a-lifetime event. There is no redoing it, and even if your wife and in-laws hopefully understood, it will never erase the feelings they had at the moment, being rage or stress. I would be so worried that you'd have been in an accident if you don't answer to that many calls, while you know to keep your phone close around the birth due date. Your sister is owed nothing. She was the builder of her own misery. NTA. It might have been months before she could see her birth father again. But you will never again have the chance to support your wife and see your first child be born. NTA, she thought seeing her dad, who she could have seen months later too, was more important than the once-in-a-lifetime birth of your daughter. If you do not want to let her in, don't let her in. NTA, she should have told you about the calls. She could have rescheduled the meeting if she was that desperate to have you with her. You need to focus on yourself, your wife, and your new baby right now. Don't worry about anyone else. Although eventually you'll have to decide whether you can forgive your sister and move past it, or if your relationship with her is over. And congratulations, Dad. NTA. What she did was absolutely appalling. She knew your wife was heavily pregnant, calling over and over. The fact that she was in labor was the best-case scenario. What she did was outrageously selfish, and robbed you and your wife of an incredibly special moment. And it's unfathomable that the rest of your family think you should just get over this immediately. And gives a bit of insight into how she was raised to be such a selfish person in the first place. Enjoy your new baby. Tell your family to stuff it up their jumpers. NTA. I would literally never forgive her for that. Just because her paternal relations are screwed up doesn't mean she has the right to blindside you and take away something you can never replicate. Not only did she revoke an incredibly important moment from you, she also did so to your wife. Your absence and lack of response probably freaked everyone at the hospital out and made labor a terrible experience. I'm sorry that happened. NTA. The birth of your first child is a once-in-a-lifetime event. She made decisions that had lifetime consequences. If I were your wife, I might never want to see her again. Very selfish of your sister. NTA. That's so selfish of her. She's an adult who should be able to handle her own damn business. NTA. She knew it was more important and that's why she hid it from you. Your sister doesn't get to be exempt from the natural consequences of her self-centered behavior. NTA. Wow. That is next-level narcissism. The fact that she actually turned up at your house means that she has no clue or care of just what she has done. What if something had gone wrong or there had been a complication? Thank God it didn't, but just the thought that she knew your wife was heavily pregnant and she put your phone on Do Not Disturb and deleted notifications. That is irresponsible beyond belief and utterly selfish. She needs to back off and let you and your wife work through this. Your rage is absolutely understandable, and if your parents don't get that, then maybe they need some time out too. Don't they realize that you and your wife have lost a precious memory? Not to mention the incredible stress and worry it probably added to your wife's experience that she couldn't reach you. I'm actually angry on your behalf. NTA. Your wife likely doesn't want her around, either. NTA. Your sister manipulated the situation so you missed your daughter's birth. And it sounds like she apologized, but then justified why she did it. So basically nullifying her apology. I wouldn't be able to look at her either. You need to do what is best for you. Just a question. Why couldn't someone else have supported your sister to see her father? Especially this close to your wife's due date? Your parents? A best friend? Why did she specifically request you this close to a possible birth of your first child? Which became the birthday. She's had 19 years to reconnect with her dad. Why did it have to be just as your daughter's due date approached? Wow. You are so NTA, and she totally is. I'm so sorry you missed the birth. It must have been a very speedy delivery. Hope your wife is doing well. NTA. What an incredibly selfish asshole she is. The birth of a child is a once-in-a-lifetime event. She could always reschedule to meet her father. You were absolutely justified in your anger and banning her from your house. NTA. I'd never involve my sister in any events involving my family after one like this. I'm so sorry she did that to you. On the other hand, congrats on the baby.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.